This is Blink Roads on the Nintendo Switch. It's a top-down shooter. It's a little bit like, Galaxian or Space Invaders in a way. Of course, Space Invaders you can't move forward, but with Galaxian and Galaga, those sort of games, it's kind of a throwback to that kind of strategy-based enemy attacks on your humble spaceship which you've powered up yourself. The game is quite unique because you actually fly the ship in not one but two lanes. You can teleport to each side, you can flip and fire from the forwards and the backwards directions, and also fire upside down when you do the flip. It's pretty challenging. If you're a bit slow in the head like me, you will struggle with this game, and I bloody did. It's really difficult, I tell you. I've never played anything like it. The story campaign is good, multiplayer is pretty decent, but to tell you the truth, where it actually shines is in the story mode, because it is a lot of fun. You meet these enemies, you meet the boss as usual. There's some good ship designs, some interesting enemies that will keep you on your toes. There's some kind of cool ones I like. The teleporting ones were a bit annoying. The first boss actually was really simple, but the second one really, it gets more difficult. It gradually lures you in. I played a good hour of this, but to tell you the truth, although I love games like Galaga and 1942 and all those back in the day, I've kind of grown out of them. They just don't have the appeal that I used to. This is definitely a throwback to those days. My God, the game is difficult. I couldn't even get 1 star. That's how terrible it was. It's based on percentages of how many enemies you take out. 1 star if you take out 50% of the enemies, 2 stars for 75%, 3 stars if you're amazing, 100%. Good luck getting 3 stars. It's bloody impossible. I just can't do it. The enemies, you'll have to fight them and fight them to get used to their moves, what they can do, and how you can counter them. But there's so much going on both screens that you miss a lot, so you can't get all the enemies. It's a bit of a bummer. And, it is difficult, but who wants an easy game? It's fun. A lot of people will love this sort of game because, it's got PvP and all that sort of stuff. Playing a single player is usually where it's at. I love playing single player games. It's alright playing multiplayer and PvPs and stuff like that. But I just like to see how good I am. Unfortunately, I'm not very good, but the game is very good. I give this a good 7 out of 10. I don't like to rate games, but it's made by one studio, a very small studio, an indie game. It's very I'd say low production values. I mean, it's got text instead of voice acting. That would have been nice, but again, it's just a cheap and cheerful game that's actually done very well. It can be frustrating. I gave up after an hour. I'd had enough, and I just wanted to shoot myself. But this has got a lot of hours gameplay in it, so definitely give it a go. I really do think that the teleporting to each screen and solving little mini puzzles or tight situations to unlock the next area of the map is really well done. It's difficult to say. It's a really, really good game. I think for the money, for the price, you won't find anything as interesting and as unique. It does have the teleportation. Say the bloody word, can I? Teleportation. Basically warping from side to side. I should have said warping, that would have been better. Definitely worth a buy. Pick it up. It's cheap. It's cheerful. Interesting enemies. Interesting art design. A very dull colour palette. Well, I was going to say something else then. But yeah, the colour palette could be a lot better. But it's an interesting game. It moves at a nice slow pace. You might press the wrong buttons. You've got 3 interesting weapons. Your base weapon does nothing. But apart from that, I found it to be enjoyable for the short time I played it. And it's definitely worth a buy. And yeah, I think it's bloody really is unique. I was quite impressed by that. It's nice to come across a little gem like this. Give it a go. My God, that's probably the worst gameplay I've ever played. Um, to be honest, I just finished watching Chelsea versus Man City. First half was great, second half was boring. This is what this game felt like. It was really good when you first get into the game, but afterwards you think to yourself, well, it can't get any better. And it does, unfortunately. But the enemies are quite varied. I enjoyed that. The music's okay as well. So yeah, final thoughts. Definitely pick up this game. I think it's a lot of fun. It's difficult to play a game that's as different as this and enjoy it. Because sometimes being different isn't always good. It works here, but for me, there's just too much going on. I couldn't concentrate on one screen and the other. I have a short attention span. I'm like a goldfish. My brain's smaller than a peanut. I just can't concentrate for anything longer than 5 seconds. I'm terrible. My knowledge of gaming is vast, but this is uh, a pretty decent game, to be honest. Yeah, I have to be truthful here. As much. Oh, and this is my first cam jobby at the end, but I'm looking tired and rough because I'm tired and I'm rough. I work a full-time job, and reviewing games is not my forte, but playing them, well, that's not my forte either. This is just for fun. Buy the game. It's good. That's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and say hello to me in chat when I'm live streaming, hopefully tomorrow night. So look out for that. See you later.